Yo, what's up guys, welcome to today's video, and I'm simply going to be, not simply, this is not going to be simple. I'll be trying to get the car started with another ECU. You know the problems we had with the previous one, and I got another one, so we'll check it out. We got some goodies in there. This is actually my old ECU. I had to buy it back from the guy I sold it to, so this is gonna be nonsense trying to do it single-handedly. That's the ECU. It's a PowerMoz MF5 V2. It uses a single coil and a distributor. That off, and then now I need to unplug the TPS, the air temp sensor. The air temp sensor, I just pull it out like that. I think I'm gonna use it again. The water temperature sensor. The TPS, I'll have to cut the wire because it goes straight to the ECU. I don't want that, so I need to cut the wire. Also, I'm going to do another wiring for it, so not really worried about it. So just gonna chop that off. I think it's chopped. The only thing left is the tape. I need a knife. Okay, I need to set the camera down somewhere. All of it is out. Cool. This is wiring from the old ECU. So what I'm gonna take from this is the air temperature sensor. I'm gonna take that. I may take this plug for the water temperature, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Old ECU out. Need to look for a box to put this thing in. This ECU is fairly new. Actually, was never used. Not never used per se, but it didn't actually work, so the car actually never ran with that ECU. It ran a bit with this one though, but never that one. Come on, old guy, let's go. TP100. This is not actually going to require much, and I think this was for the coil and the coil negative, but I'll remove the tape so we can trace the wires. I'm going to make new plugs with those plugs there. Yeah, so let's unravel the mystery. This is pretty much wired, to be honest. This is the big red and the big black. These are for the power. The red black is the ignition on. This is the fuel pump power supply, and this is distributor. I'm going to make that. I'm not going to use that because it has a plug already. I'm just going to solder them together and use a heat shrink to kind of like put them in place. And this is the red yellow. The red yellow is the coil positive, and this is coil negative, and comes from the module. So this module actually has a pin out to see what goes where. So coil negative VE, it would be the last pin, so I need to trace which one that is. This thing goes this way, so it means it's this one, right? It's this one. I'm gonna plug that right there, and I wanna set my multimeter to right here where it says that. So you check continuity, you check if this cable goes where it's supposed to go. You see there's a 1 there, so when I press this guy and that guy, the number should go up until it goes to 0. See, numbers change up until 0, so I know that this is my coil negative. I'll focus on this one and this one. My table is pretty small though, so makes working on it pretty hard. The blue one is idle control and the two brown ones are injectors. This is injector bank A, this is injector bank B. So this is bank A, bank B. This one will do the injectors and also that. So this goes into the car, and from there I'll be able to kind of like measure. This was the TPS. TPS is a blue, yeah, because there's a black, there's a red white, and there's a gray blue. And this is TPS, so I'll use that for the TPS. Let's do the injector ones now. So the injectors have a total of 8 wires, and here I have 3. So 8 goes down to 3. This is not sequential firing, so and you see we have a problem there. Check that out, big problem. I don't know how to deep in this thing. Big problem there. Yeah, but it's not holding anyway. I need to deep in this injector plug. I think you can see that it kind of like went out from that because it wasn't really secure tight, and we need to deep in that. But for now I can focus on, so I have these 2 wires. This would be my injector batches. Actually, this has to hold 2 injectors, this one 2 injectors as well, total of 4, and they get a positive from this one. And also I have my idle control valve, which also goes to this cable. Which one is this? I think one is male, one is female. Yeah, this looks like it's female. So read 4. 3 and 4. Just push everything in there, like so, and I'll put in the rubber things. So I can just use this to crimp it. It has to be really tight. It has to be really tight. This look pretty cool. There has to be a certain click. Here goes this way. Nope, not that way. Alright, back at it again. So just gonna crimp this thing just a tiny bit. I wanna see what's gonna happen if I also solder it, so it doesn't like, because this is a very thick cable. It's a very thick wire, because I think it carries a lot of current, so it has to be pretty thick. this solder there, so I think it's gonna hold pretty better. Hoping it fits in the thing. Oh man, just like that. Then now I need to push the rubbers. Need to push these rubbers in. Alright, so this is done. This is done and it's looking pretty nice. So I'm just going to just hook that guy right there and burn it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do the female part. So this one, this one goes this way. Right, let's get to that one. Let's do the other ones. Where are my injectors? These are my injectors. And crazy enough, I can't seem to become able to solder that while it's just chilling there, because I think that would solve my problem easily. Let's try. Let me try it. That's that thing. Can you just hold him like that so he doesn't go anyway? I continue fighting with this thing. I want this thing to just sit that way. Yeah, there we go. And plug this where it's supposed to be plugged, if I can do it. Yep, it's done. Soldered in. No need to depin it anymore. Remember, we have two, right? We have two wires, and we also need to have this guy come with us. He's just going to be a bit taller than the other ones, maybe like that. I'll see it. I just put tape over it. So once we have this guy just chilling here, just like that. Doesn't look that great though. What do I do now? Quite a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, I make this guy be part of this guy's. And just tie him there. It's only temporary though, just so that it doesn't move. And I can actually connect them to the plug. I think the longer the cable you have, the better. So I want these to be the same length, all of them. So I'm gonna have to cut these two. Heat strings are fairly long, so I like to just cut them half of what I want to do because they're really long. I was like yay long, but let me just use it as it is. Maybe this one to this one, just hook it there, make sure I have contact, and I check the batches. It's not this one, or it's this one, and it's not that one of these two. Not that one, this one. So I know this is my batch A. Hi guys, so it's day 2 of trying to get the car to start, and yesterday there was some great progress, but we ended up with a no spark situation where I think the issue was my ignition coil. I'm not really sure. I ran some tests on it, but I didn't actually test the actual coil. So I want to get another one now to kind of like see if that's the issue, but we have signal, so that's good. The ECU is able to read the engine turning and also able to fire the injectors. So the only issue now we need to get is spark. So if we get spark today positively, the car will be able to start, because you know a car needs air, fuel and spark to work. So I have two. The other one is free. I have air, I have fuel. I just don't have spark. So that's what today is gonna be about. So this is the situation we are having. We have a coil no spark situation, but I think you can see from there. You can see the lights spiking there. However, so I turn this, there is signal, but you have no spark. We have no spark, and I'm thinking the module may be bad because I just went out to get a new coil. Still have the old one there, but I got this one because I thought my coil was an issue. Turns out the coil is not an issue. And this is my TP100 module that I was using, and this is the module that was on the car when it fried the whole sensor. So I think it also got damaged a bit, but I'm not really sure. I'm not entirely sure about that, so I would need to get a donor TP100 to kind of like plug it in there and see if this is really the case. However, everything works nice. Fuel goes through no problem, and yeah, so that's pretty much where we are at the moment. It's trying to get this car started, but it's not going as great as I thought it would. But this is more promising than the previous time on the previous ECU in there, because I didn't have signal despite the distributor working, but now I have signal. So if I turn that, I think you can see that my RPMs are showing, and also the battery shows and the ignition shows 4 degrees, but no spark. This is going crazy, but I should get it done. It should be done. Maybe I need to get another TP100 this week and check if that is the issue. But I strongly think that is the issue, because I never had a problem with spark. I had problems with the signal because I wasn't aware that my regulator, as I've stated, was overcharging, so was putting more power to the electronics. But yeah, I mean, everything went great and everything went good. So now I'm just going to leave the job and install this not LEDs, these are halogens. I'm gonna install them there.